Did you know that often what makes a great actor isn't just the talent, but also how unique their look is? While some actors are known for being chameleons who can easily switch from one role to another, others are specifically looked for because of their unique features. So this was the case with Scottish actress Adrienne Corri. But before we're getting into the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave us a comment below saying I subscribed. We're going to do our best to personally reply to your comment. Unique Scottish and Italian origins. Adrienne Corri was born in Glasgow, Scotland to an English mother and an Italian father in 1931. At the time, this was a very interesting combination of features and something that was not seen often. Adrienne inherited her father's Italian features and her mother's auburn hair. She also inherited her father's feisty Italian character, which is something that made her an interesting child and a passionate actress in her future career. Her childhood was full of two cultures clashing together. Although she represented herself as Scottish, she truly loved her Italian side and often mentioned it with a passion in her interviews. A somewhat difficult childhood. So Adrienne was born in the period between World War I and World War II. This was a difficult time in the UK with many families struggling to survive without a decent job, lack of food, almost no education. For Adrienne, her childhood was difficult but still full of adventure. Her father ran a hotel called the Crown Hotel, which had a decent amount of success. Although most other businesses were struggling to survive, her father was able to amend the hotel's prices to suit a large clientele. This allowed the family to have food on the table and even some clothes for Adrienne and her younger brother. Early acting aspirations. So Adrienne was definitely not a child to be messed with. She never avoided bullies and was even known to get into a few physical fights at school. This was due to her strong character and the fact that her parents raised her to be a proud woman who always took care of herself. Although she had a few problems at school because of this, it was the perfect personality for an acting career. Her drama teachers recognized her skills immediately and encouraged her to pursue a career in acting. Adrienne loved to be in front of an audience and enjoyed performing whenever possible. First start at the age of 18. Adrienne took her acting aspirations very seriously, started to audition at every opportunity when she was in high school. Although there weren't many auditions to be taken at the time, Adrienne was known for riding her bike all over town in search of an acting job. It also helped that her parents were very creative people and encouraged her to always pursue her dreams. Finally, after a lot of hard work, she received her first acting role. It was for the movie The Romantic Age in 1949. She played the role of Nora, a small role that did not appear much. However, it was enough to get her noticed by agents and start her career. A booming career and no regrets. The roles soon started to come one after another. She was able to make a great living as an actress and to even support her family in the process. And this is no surprise because her attitude was always to make the absolute best of every performance and to impress everyone around her. For example, Corri appeared in the famous movie A Clockwork Orange, directed by the famous Stanley Kubrick. Adrienne was not officially offered the role, though. Two actresses refused the role before her because it involved nudity. They were embarrassed by it and didn't want to spend their time perched on Malcolm McDowell's shoulders, who played Alex DeLarge. Well, Adrienne had absolutely no problem with it, and Kubrick was very impressed by her great performance and strong character. First and failed marriage. It was during this time that Adrienne met fellow actor Daniel Massey. Immediately, they had a strong physical attraction to one another and quickly got married in 1961. Like many marriages, this one also started out well. However, the couple would quickly realize that they are absolutely not meant for each other. Their physical attraction couldn't help them during daily life, and they ended up fighting all the time. Her husband wanted her to be a stay-at-home wife, which was far from who Adrienne was as a person. Ultimately, the marriage ended in 1967, and Adrienne did not marry again. Feisty behavior for everyone. Adrienne never pretended to be something that she was not, and this was also true on any set that she stepped on. There are many stories of her behavior, and some were truly shocking for an actress at the time. For example, during a theater performance of The World of Paul Slicky, the actors were booed by the audience. Instead of continuing with the performance as if nothing was happening, Adrienne went to the front of the stage and stuck two fingers up at everyone in the audience. On another occasion, during the filming of Moon 02, she had a serious argument with one of her fellow actors, James Olsen. The actors all wore rubber spacesuits, and Adrienne decided to get back at him by pouring cold water into his suit. Because the movie was filmed on a budget, James was forced to wear the wet, cold suit for the rest of the day. Adrienne, the author. Adrienne decided to write the book The Search for Gainsborough, in which looked for the provenance of a portrait painting of David Garrick, an English actor and playwright in the 18th century. Adrienne was convinced that the portrait was painted by a young man named Thomas Gainsborough. No one believed her at first, but Adrienne spent many months conducting as much research as possible. Adrienne went as far as to search documents from the Library of the Bank of England. Her research and time spent on the project were successful, as she was eventually given the painting as a gift. A new love and children. Although she vowed to never get married again, Adrienne did fall in love with film producer Patrick Filmer Sankey. The relationship was more stable than her failed marriage, but not much different. For some reason, all the men in Adrienne's life believed that they would be the ones to calm her down and turn her into a housewife. Patrick was no different and would often scold her for spending so much time working instead of taking care of the house. The couple had 2 children together, but ultimately decided to call it quits 10 years into their relationship. Illness and death. Adrienne was a very healthy woman who took great pride in her health. However, in her later years, she developed an issue with coronary artery disease. She was able to manage it for several years, but ultimately passed away because of it in 2016 at the age of 84. Many actors spoke about her brilliance not only as an actress, but also as a human being. For although her character may have been rough at times, she was always fair to everyone around her. She will always be remembered for her fantastic roles in the Hollywood stories that came out of her being herself on every set. Even those who faced her temper would forgive her and talk about her talent and unique approach to acting whenever they could. So are you a fan of Adrienne Corri? Did you know about her experience on The Clockwork Orange? Which movies caught your interest the most?